Hi there, my name's Adrian, and in this video, I want to go over some of the skills that entrepreneurs online have used to build successful businesses that scale to hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars each month. These skills are what have enabled them to scale their businesses, create awareness, get people to buy their product or service. So if you possess these skills and you work on them, you will be successful. And it's not hard to acquire them. They just require a lot of patience, a lot of practice. But once you possess them, you'll notice it'll feel like a superpower that you have now. So let me jump into this presentation. Important skills you should learn as a digital entrepreneur. So have you noticed that these guys, Iman Ghazi, Alex Becker, Sam Ovens, Alex Hormozi, Sadi Subri, and Davey Fogotti, I think that's how you say his name, but these guys are all pretty much successful through online businesses. I mean, Iman Ghazi has built a empire around selling digital products, as you may know, and he's able to produce courses and info products that scale to, I don't know, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. Alex Becker as well, he started a few software companies and he's recently sold Hyros for, I think, 110 million. Sam Ovens, founder of School, and now joint venture with Alex Hormozi. Sadi Subri, don't know too much of his background, but we see him a lot. And Davey Fogotti, he has also been super successful in e-commerce. So these guys, have you ever thought to yourself, like, how are they able to build these businesses? Like, what do they do that makes them successful? And that's what I want to reveal in this video to you today. So if we carry on, what we're going to cover, the single skill set, right? So skill sets that most common people may have. I'm going to go through a bit of a story, tell you a bit of a story of how this came to a realization for me, and then introduce you to the actual skill stack that a lot of these entrepreneurs have. So the primary skill that average people have, right? So when I say average, I mean educated people or people who've gone to school or university, or these are just tradespeople. These could be, and these people are pretty much people with one singular primary skill. So software engineer, filmer, editor, doctor, lawyer, dentist, plumber, electrician, you name it. These guys mostly have one singular skill, and that's how they earn their income. So I would like to classify these as a single skill set, hyper-focused, hyper-specialized, and these people are generally quite exceptionally good at it. They've achieved some level of mastery. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. You do want to have one mastery skill. You specialized at it, you're hyper-focused. If we go back to this previous slide, Iman Ghazi, for example, his mastery skill is content. He's exceptionally good at producing content, and that content skill bleeds over into the other skill sets that he has. Same with Alex Hormozi. Alex Hormozi is exceptionally excellent at sales and client acquisition. However, with content, he's able to sell and explain that skill. So let's go back here. So the important thing is that you can, with this one skill, so talking about the primary skill now, you can build and contribute in a significant way depending on your experience. So as a software developer, software engineer, 1 month of this skill, you can't really have much impact. If you just 1 month into it, you're kind of a novice. 1 year, maybe a little bit more impact, but after 10 years of developing the skill set about software engineering, you can make a dent. You can make quite a significant contribution in some sort of meaningful way. However, single mastery skills rely on some sort of system to provide input or some supply chain to allow you to contribute. You can't go as at least a software engineer, just start building something. I mean, you can, but it'll just be a project or a software that is not used by anyone, depending on your skill, if you can actually build a full software. So what I mean by this is programming or coding, for simple terms, is what I do. That's my expertise. But currently, I'm employed at a company. So I rely on the machine to contribute to. I rely on things to be available to me that I can then contribute to. It's adding to an existing machine. So, and then I don't concern myself with anything other than that. So the point is, I'm skillless outside this domain, and that's not good. So the single skill, just to summarize, it's not bad at all. It's really great. You want to have a mastery skill. You want to be good, exceptionally good at one thing. But if you just have that skill set, you won't be able to take that skill set and really rocket it to the moon. You'll be capped. You'll have a threshold cap limit that you can push towards. And that's why most exceptionally skilled people work for companies and they are employed, and they just contribute to the machine. They can't go further than that. So here's a car analogy. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I'm going to go with it. It's like having the dream, rather, to design and build your own car one day. Let's just think of that as a business. Everyone wants to start their own business, right? But all you know how to do is make tires. So all you know how to do is film, or all you can do is play piano. These are very dumb examples, but bear with me. Going back to this car analogy, how would you ever be able to design the engine, or design the interior or exterior of the car? All you know how to do is make tires. So it's a pretty bad analogy, but I hope it makes sense. Your skill, you're exceptionally good at making tires, but you could never design and build a car. You don't have to, but you're just limited to that one primary skill set. So enter the jack of all trades and the master of one. And I'll start with the story here that I promised. So this is a common saying, but it can change your life if you let it and you give it a couple of years. This all made sense to me about 2 years ago, and it hit me like a wave, and it convicted me really well. I worked at a software startup company. There was a small team. The founders were interesting people, and their skills were even more interesting to me. Throughout their day, each did the following. So starting at the beginning of the day, a bit of team management, checking in on the team, managing tasks and priorities. Then they would do a bit of design work for upcoming features and that kind of thing for the software. Then they would do a bit of coding or programming. And this was the primary mastery skill that they both had, because both of them studied computer science. So they were really fairly good at programming, right? Then later in the day, they would record content. And this is quite a hard thing to do, is be able to be presentable on camera. I'm doing it right now. I'm being presentable on camera. I don't think I'm very good at it, but I'm trying to learn it. So these guys would record content, and then after that, they would just do other random stuff. They would see people, see clients, jump on sales calls and this kind of stuff. So the list continues. But the point is, they were average at a lot of these things, but they were really good at one thing. So these guys did a lot of things during the day, but they were average at a lot of these things. Not amazing, but good enough. This is when it clicked for me. These guys were the same age as me. And I was thinking at the time, man, this kind of sucks. Like, these guys are the same age as me. They've got the same skill that I have and more some, which made them exceptional. But yeah, they had way more general skills than me. However, I might have been better at coding or programming, but it doesn't really matter, But all these random skills made them more dangerous. So that's quite an important point to talk about. I had one skill set at the time. All I knew how to do is just build, write software, write code, and that kind of stuff. But I couldn't really do anything beyond that. However, these guys had that skill and more so. So they were able to build a company, get funding, get tons of users on this platform because of this. Just because of the extra random skills that they had built out throughout the years. So, and that's what I'm going to talk about just now, is what skills you need. So back to my point. What separates entrepreneurs like Alex Becker, Iman Ghazi, David Fogati, or any entrepreneur online is they've developed certain skills So back to my point. What separates entrepreneurs like Alex Becker, Iman Ghazi, David Fogati, or any entrepreneur online is that they've developed certain skills to achieve a desired outcome or delegated well enough that other people with those skills can achieve the desired outcome as well. Generally speaking, when you're starting a business, you want to have all the skills. You can't pay for people to do the work for you, but you'll eventually get to that point. And when you scale, you'll hire more people who are specialized, and then you'll just be at the top, right? You'll just delegate to work majority of the time. Going back to this realization, the story that I had, the cornerstone video for me was this video by Alex Becker. How I made $1 million a year with relative ease. I don't think the title does the video justice, but this was kind of like the video that really changed my perspective on this whole thing, was this specific video. Let's go into the points about it. So the main kind of crux, if you were to summarize it, is each business has stacks, right? And there are about 3 essential parts to a stack. Make it 4. So if we go back here, sorry, not that one, but let's just use like a software company. To build a software company, you have to be exceptionally good at a lot of things. But you require a lot of skills if you do it on your own. And each of those skills has stacks. The first one, so if we were to tear apart a single skill stack, you have to be good at traffic. You have to get people to use your product or service or buy your product. You have to know a bit about sales. Then you have to know a bit about product creation or product or service creation. And that's the actual thing you're going to sell, right? And then a bit of business setup. So setting up some infrastructure, and we'll cover that a bit later, but that's minor. You usually do that just once, and you should be good from there on out. So my goal in the video, if you sticked around this long, thank you. But my goal is just to reveal this stuff to you or make you aware of it, because I'm not an expert at it yet. And I'm a year out on learning this stuff. So I'm not going to teach it to you. There are people on YouTube who I'll mention who are way better at teaching this to you because they've mastered it. They've actually have a lot more experience than I do. Go to them rather. I'm just here to reveal it. So the skills stack. This is just a screenshot from Notion, but this is kind of what should be the attention of this video. So lead generation. If we start here, lead generation. Every business needs one or more of these 5 pillars or 5 columns. So lead generation, offers, sales, product creation, and infrastructure. Each business needs a little bit of each of these 5 pillars. So lead generation is basically getting people aware of your product or service. How can you do that? There are various ways of doing it. Each way for lead generation requires skills on its own, quite a handful of skills. Cold calling is one way, so you can phone people up, say, hey, this is my product or service, please buy it. You don't usually do that, but that's a whole skill that requires a lot of practice and a lot of dedication to get good at. Cold emailing. Cold emailing, again, people have built careers around just sending cold email. Cold DM, WhatsApp, kind of the same. Paid ads. Again, paid ads is another whole skill set, but we'll cover this. And a lot of these skills actually blend really well together. So paid ads, I'll talk about that in a bit more detail just now. Content creation is kind of like this. There's different ways of doing content. Obviously, this is long form content, short form content like YouTube Shorts, that kind of stuff. A little bit more difficult to create. And then lead magnets. I'm not going to cover lead magnets, but a lead magnet is basically some free resource that you put out there online. People want that. And in order to get that free resource, you have to give up your information, such as your first name, last name, email, and people, once that's captured, they plug you into their sales system. But I'm not going to talk about that much. So choose one of these. Lead generation, paid ads is usually a good one, but it's a bit more costly. And then cold email is probably a cheaper one. But I'll go through how to actually learn these. Offers. So offers is broken into two kind of tiers. Offer creation and then offer presentation. How do you present the offer? So let's just go into look at what offer creation looks like. I'm going to use this offer from Charlie Morgan. I'll speak more about him in a second, but I've cloned his offer here. His offer, he sells a info product course that teaches you about client acquisition. This is his offer. We legally vow to add $220,000 in new monthly revenue to your business in 180 days with our profusely apologetic, legally binding agreement. If you don't add 20K in new monthly recurring revenue, we'll refund all your money, wire transfer you $5,000 and give you $5,800 worth of coaching over 6 months for free to say sorry. This is something called a irresistible offer. And it's an offer that is so good, you can't say no. It doesn't apply to everyone, of course. It applies to a very specific set of people in a niche that have a certain criteria. They're in a pain point, they're struggling with something, and they want to get to somewhere. Usually agency owners or SMMA owners, right? People that run agencies. This would work exceptionally well for them, and it does work really well. So that's what an offer is. Offer presentation. So let's just go back here. Where's the slideshow? Offer presentation is, now you've constructed the offer, it's just a document or some sort of thing that you invent and you write down. Offer presentation is how do you deliver that and communicate the offer in a very simple way that people can consume it. Usually this is with a website funnel or a funnel page that has a number of components on the page. Let me show you what a funnel actually looks like. So this is an info product that this guy Davey Fogarty, he's built. This is a funnel page. So the offer, if we scroll down and we can figure out what the offer is, I think the offer is actually in the video mentioned, but this is the big headline. So the offer for this is, I actually had to go look at it. He helps you scale your e-com brand further than $1 million a month. So he basically wants to help you scale your e-com site. That's ultimately what this coaching program does. However, this is a funnel. This is a website funnel. The offer is mentioned within the video, but this is a funnel. It requires some design, some implementation. If you look at it, I think it uses Framer, which is a website builder. There's a VSL here, testimonials. All funnels have the same sort of components. Sub-headline, major headline, another sub-headline, VSL, call to action, a little bit about the mentors, and then social proof, call to action. Very simple. The point here is that offer presentation is that this guy is selling this offer. Let me just, for the sake of it, show you another one. I want to go back to this original one, which is this offer by Charlie Morgan. This is the presentation for his offer. So if we go back to, sorry, this is the wrong year, free growth call. So his offer, so part of this presentation is, like I said, offer creation, offer presentation. This is the offer that he crafted. You can do this within a document like this, and then you present the offer. So this is the sales funnel, and if you go down here, we can actually see the offer. So we guarantee 20 pay clients. It's risk-free. That's part of it. Sorry, I believe the offer is actually in this video. It's mentioned here. Entrepreneur. So I'm not going to go through the whole video, but the offer is presented here. So that is a little bit of offer creation and presentation. I'm not going to dwell too much on that. Then finally, we have sales. So sales is broken into two little buckets. Appointment setting and sales calls. Appointment setting is a category and sales calls is another category. Appointment setting leverages this stuff. So lead generation, cold calling, cold email. That is a skill set, is appointment setting. And then sales calls is once you have an appointment is just a sales call either on Zoom or Google Meet or some other platform that's similar to that. You just want people to get a call like that booked. That's appointment setting. And people who are appointment setters leverage these skills here. Sales calls are the different type of person. They could be the same as an appointment setter, but a sales call is like, I'm on the call now. I'm trying to convince you to buy a product or service. So that is sales in a nutshell. Sounds very simple. It can be, but the skill just takes a fair amount of time, a lot of coaching, a lot of practice to get at. So I'm not going to walk through what a sales call now in detail, but appointment setting, like I said, lead generation components. Sales call is you present the offer after you've nurtured the prospect on the call to buy. So that is the sales kind of ecosystem, the components, which is this green block here. Now, product creation can be anything. That's the actual business model that you choose. And I'll chat about that just now. But product creation can be anywhere from software that you build, you're creating info products through courses, Shopify, that's e-commerce. What else is there? There's a handful of like agencies and that kind of thing. Product/service creation. Products and service aren't too difficult to create. Software isn't exceptionally hard to create, given that I'm a software engineer by trade, but it's not a hard thing to build a software. You can do it in over like 4 months, build something that people find useful. Courses as well, depending how good of the course is, anywhere from 1 month to a whole year to build a course. Charlie Morgan's course that I mentioned, it took him 9 months of like 12-hour days. And then lastly, infrastructure. So infrastructure is the stuff in place that allows your business to operate. Primarily two major things, which is registering an actual company. So registering a company in the US, in South Africa, that's where I'm from, or Europe, or wherever you are. Just register a company, and you want to be able to take payments. So online, you need a payment provider, and we'll get to that in a bit. But payment providers are things like Stripe, PayPal, and there's a few South African ones I'll mention. But that is the skills stack at a whole holistic bird's eye view. These are the skills that these entrepreneurs have that I mentioned earlier in the video. And you'll still have your mastery skill. So if you're really good at content, you can design courses. You can do a few things with content, but in my case, I know software. I can build software, but I'll get no one to use it if I don't have all these other skills in place. I mean, you can build a really fantastic software, but you have no business registered or payments infrastructure set up. You can't take payments, and you can't make money. And you don't really have a business. You just have a hobby project that no one will use. Same for courses. You can design a beautiful course that took you 9 months to design and implement. But if no one knows about it and you can't get people to pay for it, you don't really have a valuable thing until someone buys it. So do you see why you can't rely on the primary skill? You have to have all these other things, all these other random things in place. And you don't have to be exceptionally good at a lot of this stuff. You should be quite good at your primary thing, like build software that is bug-free or very close to not having a lot of defects is quite hard. Designing a course that is really good. So Ty Lopez, he was probably one of the first digital marketers out there. He did the 67 steps course like in 2015 or whatever. He was exceptionally good at marketing that course. However, the reviews of the course wasn't that great. So the point I'm trying to make is anyone can learn these skills. You don't have to learn all of them. Choose one or two of them of each. So like lead gen, choose one to do lead generation. Offer creation, I'll chat about the resources for that just in a second. And then sales, maybe apply these. You don't have to apply, depending on what you're selling. And I'll transition to that next. So skills to learn to create ads. So if we chose paid ads, this is how I would go around doing it. This is how I did it. So I would study 100 static and video ads in your niche. Let's just go and do that right now. So I've got a lot of folders here of people that I like to study, but I'm gonna go to Charlie Morgan because he was our case study in this example. So this is his offer. These are the ads that he uses to get attention, convert that attention to interest, convert that interest into booked appointments. Those booked appointments turn into shows on the call, and then shows turn into closed deals. I'll cover that in a second, but he's running ads right now. And if you look at one of these ads, just click on see ad details, he's got a video.
Let's be honest for just a second here.
And that video, it's the first 2 seconds, the first 5 seconds is usually the most important part. That's your hook component. But videos on ads is wildly different to the type of content I'm making now. He does a lot of long form content that I'm doing right now on his YouTube channel. But his ads are very punchy, very, very quickly cut, and they serve a different purpose. So that's the content component of an ad. The second component is the copywriting. So he's got a lot of copywriting here. I'm not going to go over it, but he's doing calling out some sort of demographic or niche of people, calling out the pain points, highlighting the pain points, introducing himself, and then basically, if I skim this, adding some testimonials and a call to action for and his offer is baked in there somewhere. So these are ads, and if you click on the ad, it takes you where? To the same, a different landing page this time, but this is the sales funnel that he's going to show VSL a video. This is just a GIF, but you opt in your first name and last name. So I think this is for, looks like a new landing page he's got here. But the point I'm trying to make is this skill that we mentioned here, paid ads, it's not an awfully hard skill to make, to learn. You need to learn how to, do content, some design, and some copywriting, and we'll cover that in a second again. But that's one way to get leads. I mean, he also does YouTube, which is another way he gets free leads and free customers through his YouTube channel, and he's built rapport and that kind of thing. And that's what I'm honestly doing with you as well. So that's one variant of it. The offer is what I explained it previously, and sales as well. We'll cover that in a second again more. So going back to the slide, study 100 static videos, static images, and video ads in your niche. So I wouldn't rely on him. He's got a lot of video stuff that is somewhat from his YouTube channel as well. But if you look at let's go to iClosed. This is a software that has ads, right? So they've scaled all the ads down. I don't know why, but I guess they weren't working effectively. But this guy who's built iClose, he has a lot of statics. So if you look at the static, it's very simple static. You can do this in Canva, and then the copywriting is very simple. It's just a headline, call to action, generate 30% more qualified leads with iClose. And here's the graphic. So that's one of them. Then I would look at this one. There's a video.
If you're selling high ticket offers.
So he's just taken the VSL from the website and plugged it in here. Same text here. So that's basically it. Video ads. I mean, choose 5 of them, choose 5 videos, 5 statics, and recreate them. So this is the important part. If I were to learn ads, recreate these ads using Canva. Canva is a design tool that you can use to design pretty much anything. I pretty much guarantee that this image here is designed with Canva. I'll show you quickly Canva, what it looks like. If you don't know, I'm sure you would know it. I'll be surprised if you don't know Canva. But it's a design tool. Let's just look at a previous image I did for my thumbnail. Background, some dumb image of me, and then some text. So that's Canva. And then copywriting with ChatGPT, that's a whole skill. I would just Google, YouTube a lot of that, how to do copy for certain things. So like copywriting for ads, copywriting for sales funnels. Leverage ChatGPT to do the heavyweights, the heavy lifting for you. And then film yourself. So recreate these ads. I went on a little journey where I tried to recreate some of the ads by Charlie Morgan, right? And a few of these guys. Film yourself recreating the ad and learn how to edit them with CapCut. You'll be surprised how difficult this is. So that's what I would do. And then upload your creatives into Facebook, to Facebook Ads Manager. Facebook Ads Manager is basically the platform that you can create posts, and then you choose what type of people you want to see these ads. So like plumbers or electricians or younger people, old people, male gender, so male or female. And then you just run a campaign. You pay for the views, obviously, but that's how I would learn ads. And then obviously running the ads and testing them is where the rubber meets the road. These are just all prerequisites. This is the skill that's also exceptionally hard, is testing ads, scaling down ads that don't work, scaling up ads that do work. Another one, cold email. If I were to learn this lead gen source, this is what I would do. Learn how to scrape or buy a list of quality leads. So their first names, last names, emails, and phone numbers. you can scrape these off Google depending what you need, or get them through Facebook groups and that kind of stuff. There's tons of videos on how to do this. But you want to scrape some sort of leads list. That would be plumbers, a list of plumbers, or a list of electricians, or a list of 25-year-old males who love gym, or something like that. Get a leads list, upload them into a cold email software like instantly.ai, and then write your email sequences and copy, and then run campaigns. So that's cold email in a nutshell. Is you want to send out a lot of emails to a lot of people in a good way that you can achieve email deliverability. But you want to send out emails so you can get a certain amount of those people to respond back, and you can set up a booking or call to sell them something. So that's just lead generation. Offers creation and presentation. So I did say I would come back to this. So if we look here, start the slideshow again. Creating an offer. I showed you the Charlie Morgan example. One thing I did not mention is high, mid, and low ticket offers. So that's this here. High ticket offers leverages, if we go back here, appointment setting and calls. So if you're selling a course or software that costs like $10,000 literally, that's what Charlie Morgan's one costs. If you look here, the cost, I don't think the cost is mentioned here, but his thing here, this course literally costs $10,000. It's a high ticket offer. That's an example of a high ticket offer. Now, you do get mid and low tickets. Mid and low tickets are usually anywhere between, a mid ticket is like a $997 course, and low tickets is like $100, $39 per month or whatever. High ticket, you usually require appointment setting and discovery calls to convince someone why they need this offer, this thing you're presenting to them, because you can't do that you can't have the sales call and sell a really expensive offer to someone. For low ticket things like SaaS or cheaper courses, you don't usually need to jump on a sales call. You can just run ads to a page and get people to click and buy. Other examples of low ticket offers are e-commerce, like you sell things online, lights or stuffed animals or babies' clothes. You don't need to jump on a call to get someone to buy a stuffed animal. It's a low ticket offer. It doesn't cost a lot of money. Cool. And then presenting the offer, we chatted about website showcasing the product you want to purchase. So an e-com example, a low ticket offer usually, unless it's like an iPhone or something, but that relies on brand. So Apple has a brand. You want to have a website showing the product that you want to purchase. Or you can have a website selling a course. So in Charlie Morgan's example, he has a website funnel selling the course, and it funnels you down a journey. Or you can have a website funnel selling a software. So I showed you Charlie Morgan's one. Let me quickly show you Alex Becker's one. If we go here to Hyros, I think this is still up. Hyros is the software for ads, right? This is pretty much similar to what I showed you previously. Some headline, video, some headline, VSL, set up now, call to action, more indoctrination, results, client testimonial. Ultimately, it comes down to book a call. His software is not cheap. So if you come here to set up, enter our details, get me a demo, you want to book a call. So I'm not going to fill out this stuff, but it's ultimately the same. These are high ticket offers Charlie and Alex are both selling, and they do that through a funnel. They run ads through Meta platform or TikTok or what have you, Gmail ads as well, and they get people to a website. They get people to book a call. They get onto the call, People close them on the call, and they make money once they've paid. So a little bit more about high, mid, and low ticket offers. High ticket sales is appointment setting plus sales call closing. And it's basically what I said is you convert attention, which is traffic, through Facebook ads, cold emails, things like that, into interest. So it's just attention. Hey, I'm out here. Hello, everyone. My name is Adrian. Or hi, my name is Alex Becker. Or I'm Charlie. You convert that to interest, but the pool of people narrows each time. So if you're showing 1,000 people some graphic, some ad, only 3% of them convert. So that's, 30 people become interested, and it reduces every time. And then only 3 of those 30 actually book appointments. One of those 3 actually shows us the call, and one of those people on the call maybe become prospects, and you close them. And what I mean by closing is you take their money, you give them the course, so on. So you need a lot more volume than 1,000 people. You need like 100,000 people to actually scale this. Whereas mid-ticket is you convert attention, which is traffic, like ads and stuff, into interest, and you just get a purchase. That's like e-commerce, selling lights, for example. A friend of mine does that. You run ads showing your product. People get interested, but the amount of people gets reduced every time. You have interest. People that are interested actually go to the website, and a smaller subset of that is a purchase. So that's how high ticket, mid ticket, and low ticket offers work. Customer acquisition. All of this can be summarized into customer or client acquisition. So we combine leads, offers, and sales into client acquisition. Traffic, aka leads and offers, offer creation, and the presentation of an offer fits under this thing called client/customer acquisition. So note to me, show Alex Hormozi or Charlie Morgan. I did show you a lot of Charlie Morgan, but I'm going to show you Alex Hormozi now. So Alex Hormozi has this free training that is super valuable. It's fantastic. But he has this training out here that you can watch a bunch of videos. He also has a book called $100 Million Leads and $100 Million Offers, basically. He's way more better than I can ever be because his whole career is built around leads and offers and this kind of stuff and around sales. I'm just here to show you what it is. But he explains like how to do content properly, how to do cold outreach, that's emails, calls, how to do paid ads. This is 3 hours worth of content on paid ads. And what am I doing? I'm giving you a little taste of what ads look like and that kind of thing. And the rest you can carry on with. And then offers. So he breaks down, he gives you the framework to explain what Charlie's done here. All this whole document is kind of summarized into how to build an offer that people want to buy. There's things like risk reversal, the value equation, all these things to make something super valuable and people feel dumb not buying it. So that's offer creation. Okay, so my hope, let me change the camera because I haven't been doing this actually. My hope and if you've gotten this far in the video, thank you. But my hope is that you've noticed some sort of trends in my presentation so far. And the trends would be these first principles. If you want to distill it, boil it down to some core skills. These would be the core skills. Content creation. All these guys that you know of do content, obviously, because you know of them. They're on YouTube, they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook. They all do content creation and they're quite good at it. I'm okay at it, I guess. This is my second video. But they know how to speak to a camera. They understand lighting. They understand how to use a microphone. They understand how to edit or delegate editing to make very impactful videos and get your attention. Secondly, these guys know how to create video scripts. I mean, Iman Ghazi is really good at doing video scripts and keeping you engaged with what he says within the video. So copywriting applies to video, so content, website headlines, offer creation, and a bit of psychology. Like, you have to understand human psychology with copywriting. You can't just put some random junk on there. You need to understand how people think and why people think in a certain way. So that's copywriting, aided with ChatGPT. ChatGPT can do a bit of the heavy lifting for you. And then the next category skill is design. So Canva, it's like I showed you, that software, you can create thumbnails and ad statics and all this stuff. Canva is going to be your go-to in this case. Figma is a bit more of an advanced tool. Figma is a tool to design the look and feel of an application for your phone or desktop app and that kind of stuff. I'm not going to show you Figma because it's quite niche for software or websites, but it's a tool you can use to design the look of a website before you build it. That's ultimately what it is. So design is a skill that you should learn. Appointment setting, right? So I forgot to make setting right there. But appointment setting can be any of those leads, a combination of those lead sourcing ways, right? So like cold calling, cold email, DM, WhatsApp, those kind of things. You want to book a call if that is your objective, if you're selling a high ticket product or a low ticket product. Otherwise, ads is really good for e-commerce. So appointment setting, maybe you need to know appointment setting, or you can just use one of the lead generation mechanisms that I spoke about to get people aware of your product, service, or offer. Sales call, maybe you need to know this. I don't know if you need to know sales calls. What if you're doing e-commerce? You don't need to know sales calls. But if you're selling a high-ticket software, like I am, I've got a software, you want to jump on a sales call and understand the prospect and close them on a call to use your software so you can make money. And usually sales calls go through this framework. So you jump on a sales call, a little bit of small talk, understand the prospect a little bit. Then you go through a line of questioning. You try pitching the person, answer their questions, and then objection handling is quite a key component, and then closing them finally. Again, I'm not going to go into the details of these two, but YouTube has a plethora of resources on appointment setting and sales calls, as well as design, Figma, copywriting, content creation. If I were to rate myself out of these things, I would say my product creation is quite good. So it's not listed here, but my product creation is, I would say I'm pretty good at creating software. Design, I'm fairly good as well. I know how to create static image ads with Canva and that kind of thing. Content-wise, I'm okay. I don't think I'm exceptionally good at content, but I've figured out how to use a camera. I figured out how to use lighting, microphone. Editing is something I can choose to get better at, or I can delegate it to someone. And editing is quite an important thing. Like, you can hire an editor that just does videos for ads. They know how to make it punchy, short, like choppy like this, and get people's attention. Or you can have editors that do long form content. There's different styles, right? Copywriting, I'm also okay. I'm not fantastic at it, but I know the basics. And ChatGPT aids me a lot in making copywriting easier. And then appointment setting and sales calls, I'm more on the beginner side of the stuff. I'm not super good at it, but I'm getting better. So let's move on. All right, so this video of Iman Ghazi, he's got a video here on which business model should you learn, which business model. The reason why I wanted this as the next subject or next chapter in this story is that these skills all of these skills mostly applies to anything that you do. So if you do like e-commerce or Shopify, or you do software, or you do courses, a lot of the skills that I mentioned apply to that. You need to know how to do content. You need to master client acquisition in some sort of way. You need how to build offers and leads, and all these things that I mentioned apply. So whatever thing you choose, there's no silver bullet. I mean, each has their own challenges, and each has more minute skills than what I mentioned previously from that skill stack. If we look back here, you could choose any of these, and that's kind of the point of that thumbnail I showed you just now. But any of these, choose them and apply them to what you're interested in. Like e-commerce, I don't really have an interest in e-commerce, but I have a more of interest in software. However, I need to pick and choose which things I want to use for lead generation. How am I going to learn how to craft an offer? So an offer is like, we will give you the software and we guarantee that it'll help your business and reduce some bottlenecks in some sort of way with automation by using the software. And we have to sell that to a demographic of people, like plumbers. That's what my software does. And yeah, does that make sense? I hope it makes sense to you. All right, so content I kind of briefly covered, but I'll just learn how to make content, man. Learn how to do film on your iPhone. That's what I'm doing right now. Learn how to recreate ads. Do long form content where you're speaking like this. Video sales letters, also like an ad, but it's a bit more longer and it's more punchy, and it's usually 16 by 9 the ratio. But content presenting on the video, that's what I'm doing now. I don't think I'm really good at it, but I'm trying and I'm willing to get better. Presenting on a video and actually recalling a script, doing that is quite the challenge. It's very hard to be able to do presenting on camera, like I'm doing now. And I don't think I'm exceptionally good at it either. And then obviously storytelling. Storytelling is like a challenge on its own because it's a combination of scripting, presenting on a video, your tonality within your voice, how you move your hands, how you tell a story. That is what storytelling is. Iman Ghazi is exceptionally good at storytelling. I mean, go watch some of his videos. He's really good at painting a picture and telling a story to convince you to buy his program or whatever. Storytelling is quite hard to do. I don't know the slightest about it, but that is a skill that you eventually want to get good at as well. And then lastly, infrastructure. So I mentioned infrastructure briefly, but setting up a business that's registered. You need to have a registered business in order to transact and make money. And so that's like the first thing, is having a registered business as a PTY or what does America have? Some sort of corporation, something like that. And then you need a payment provider. You can't have the payment provider like Stripe, PayPal without the business. You need the registered business to transact and make money. So Stripe and PayPal are international payment providers. In South Africa, we have things like companies like Peach Payments, PayFast, PayGate, PayHost, Stitch. We have like 15, which is quite crazy. And then infrastructure, supply chain, and logistics. Supply chain is the movement of orders, so 3PL, picking, packing, and procurement, or shipping. And logistics is obviously the delivery of orders from the warehouse to the person's doorstep. That's logistics. Supply chain and logistics are quite difficult. And usually most people outsource them, but that is a whole nother skill if you want to do e-commerce. How do you move product out of, once someone clicks order, like how to confirm or purchase your order, your little teddy bear online, how do you actually sell, how do you actually get that to them? That's a whole new skill on its own. And you may outsource that to someone to handle the whole supply chain and logistics component of your e-commerce brand. But you have to learn that. That people forget that that's some other skill that other people have a whole career around supply chain and logistics. So keep that in mind. Cool. So products and services. Products or service is the thing you're selling. It's tied to the offer. The offer is to entice people. The offer is actually, if I could describe it, is something that you are presenting to someone to get them some result. And the outcome of that is the value that you're giving. So I think I butchered that, but whatever. So like in my case, building software, a whole nother video on this, designing courses, selling on e-commerce. Those are all the products and services you can create. And I think that's my last slide actually. So I hope I did justice in this video. I explained to you as best as I could what skills you need as an entrepreneur. I hope it makes a bit more sense. I could paint a really ugly picture of what it looks like, and that makes sense to you. So I'm going to keep it short. Thank you for sticking around for so long, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Stick around, please, because I'm keen to produce more content like this.